Good morning, afternoon, evening to everybody. My name is Ken Masson. I am the co-president of the Rotary Club of World Disability Advocacy. We're in June, we'll be celebrating our 5th year, so we're still a fairly young club. We actually have almost 90 members in the club, and we're represented in about 40 different countries around the world. So we're a very unique club from that standpoint. We also are what they call a cause-based club, and our cause is to the human rights, advocate for the human rights of people with disabilities around the world. And we're very happy to be holding, this is our 3rd of this Changemakers series. Our hope is to encourage people to make change for people with disabilities, but also for any worthy cause in the world to go out and advocate for change. And in order to encourage more people to do that, we decided to be running this series and go through the basics of what it is. Today, we're going to be talking about a very important subject in a matter of change maker, and that is to develop be the leader to develop effective, to develop an effective project. And I'm going to turn this over to our moderator, Diana, past district governor Diana, and she was very instrumental in starting this club 5 years ago. She made sure it happened, and she made sure it charted in 3 weeks, which I think still today is a record. So Diana is also the Rotary Zone 32 lead membership coordinator and advisor. She's advisor to the District 7910 district governor-elects and district governor nominees. She's also a presenter and facilitator at PETS, which is a training for new presidents. And she's also a zone trainer. Diana, I will turn this over to you. Wait, before we do that, everybody could mute. Sorry about that. If everybody could make sure they're muted, and we'll have questions and answers afterwards. Okay, Diana?
Yeah, thank you, Ken, and thank you, everybody, for coming today. You did hear what Ken said, that it is the 3rd of the Changemakers series of the seminars that the club, and it is actually Ken's idea to have those series of gaining knowledge and experience on different topics. First thing I want to point out that the next month series, the next month seminar will be the fundraiser. So just today we are talking about service projects, not fundraisers. Why do we do as Rotarian service projects, large or small? We do it to do good in the world, to give hope, to open opportunities, to make a difference, and to change people's lives. This is one of the reasons why we all joined Rotary, right? So what are the benefits to the club when you do a service project? There are direct benefits and indirect benefits. The direct benefits is those projects, they engage your members, engage your friends, family, colleagues. They connect us as Rotarians to the communities we serve. And they are fun. They also are helping growing your club with more members. What are the indirect benefits? This is a great exposure for the clubs and members of the club to the community. This is networking, building connections. It's growing collaborations with other community groups. including other Rotary clubs, but also the whole community, locally and internationally. Rotary and Rotary clubs around the world take part in meaningful service, locally and globally. Our service activities can range from providing meals to people affected by a natural disaster, or cleaning parks, or even to a multi-year grant projects that supports, for example, a rural health center. These are consistent with Rotary's primary motto, service above self. We all know about Rotary's action plan. And the Rotary, just a quick reminder to all of you that Rotary's action plan has 4 priorities that you can use as a framework for your club when you plan your activities. These priorities are: increase your impact, expand our reach, enhance and participant engagement, and increase our ability to adapt. A successful service project can have an impact in your community, engage people in the process, promote your club to people in your area, and create opportunities for new activities and collaborations. As we strive to achieve our goals within the action plan, our work implementing successful, sustainable, and meaningful projects illustrates how Rotary members make a difference close to home and around the world. Although we encourage all of our clubs and our members to think about how your service efforts might align with the 7 areas of focus, it isn't required when you do a local service project unless you plan to apply for a global grant or take part in the programs of scale grant process. Today, we have 3 amazing Rotarians who will share their knowledge and experience about how does your club determine what service projects to complete in your community? What community organizations or leaders you can engage to determine local priorities? Who in your club or district and what partners in the community can provide guidance and planning to implement your service projects? And what is the impact that your club makes with your project? When do you last evaluate your project? And most of all, how to keep this whole project simple. With us today from Nevada in the United States of America, District 5300, Rotary Club of Las Vegas 1 is Shab Elawar. Hello, Shab. Say hi so we can see you all.
Let's see. You don't see me more? Let me gallery. So
we see you, Shab. I can see your handsome face right here, right now.
Okay. Hello, Shab. So, Shab Elawar rose from poverty in Lebanon, survived civil war, and immigrated in the United States in 1978. He became a citizen, earned 2 degrees, and built a successful real estate career. A Rotarian since 1997, Shab has held major leadership roles supported more than 550 global grants, joined more than 50 humanitarian missions, reached Rotary's highest philanthropic circles, and sponsors a Peace Fellow every year. Honored with Rotary Service Above Self Award, he continues to drive global peace and has helped generate more than 300 grants through his Global Grant Project Fair. Welcome, Shab.
Thank you. Thank
I
you.
am so happy to see you today. We go way back with Shab, and I am so proud that I can call him my friend.
Thank you. You're awesome.
With us today, we do have Maria de Mello. Maria de Mello, all the way from Brazil. She is the project chair of this very club, Rotary Club of World Disability Advocacy. Maria, say hi so we can all see you.
Hello to everyone. It's a pleasure to be here with all today. And let's go.
Okay. And Maria is a highly qualified professional with more than 25 years of experience in research, innovation, digital health, gerontology, and assistive technology. Skilled in managing multidisciplinary projects from design to implementation, with strong expertise in public health policy, process optimization, data analysis, and strategies for fundraising and sustainability. She is committed to advancing impactful initiatives in the disability sector. Welcome, Maria.
Thank you, Diana.
Now, our third panelist today is all the way from Uganda, Rotary District 9211, from the Rotary Club of Muyenga. Ken Mugisha, Ken, please say hi so we can all see you.
He's not here yet, Diana.
Oh,
but
he's
we'll-
not here.
Not yet, but we'll let you
Okay,
know when
I'll
he-
go through his bio and then we'll catch up later. Okay. Ken is a distinguished Rotary leader recognized for his service, environment, stewardship, and peace. A past district governor of District 9211 and former president of the Rotary Club of Muyanga, he led the Mission Green Project. He chairs the Great Lakes Peace Center and serves on the board of trustees of the Rotary Peace Center at Makerere University, alongside roles on boards Malaria Free Uganda, Hospice Africa Uganda, and the International Board for Addiction Prevention in Africa. He is also a multi-major donor and Bequest Society member. So now I'd like to welcome our panelists again, and just to remind us, for the sake of time, please stick to 1 minute for your answers. We do have 7 different steps or questions that we want to go through today. And the first one is new project. What is the first step in identifying a project? How do you determine what service projects to complete? And I will ask Maria to share her experience with us.
Thank you, Diana. And the first step in the FIRE project is to listen to the community, what they want, what they need. And I believe any project should start with another way. We should collect information through conversations with local leaders, families, services providers, public agencies, and the people directly affected by the issue that we want to solve. After identify the needs, we have the projects to pursue by looking at 4 key factors: relevance, feasibility, alignment, and sustainability. First, the project must address a real and urgent need. Second, we must have the capacity, partnerships, and resources to carry it out effectively. Third, the project should align with Rotary's mission and values, especially services above self, inclusion, and long-term community benefit. Finally, it should create sustainable results rather than a short-term response with no continuity.
Thank you,
Thank you.
Maria. And now, Shab, the mic is yours.
Well, good morning, and I'm honored to be among you and see a lot of friends also that we met on the road of service. It depends upon your project. The project consists of three categories. One of them is self financed projects, which is on a personal level or on a club level. The second one is when you use the district DDF. And the third level is the global grant. And the global grant gives you the most impact. Now, it depends, besides what Maria says, it depends, upon you and your relationship in the world and how do you come to those projects. In my case, I just travel around or attend a lot of project fairs, attend a lot of the conferences in my district, attend a lot of the conventions in Rotary International. And once you do that, you're gonna find out that you are meeting people from all over the places, which they are bringing the projects. You just have to sit down and listen to them and depend on them. What project is good for them? So most of us Rotarians in the world, we are leaders in our communities. So besides the leaders in the community, those leaders, Rotarian leaders, for sure they have spoken to some of those project leaders in their community, and we have to meet the challenges and the needs of those communities. How we determine which one it is the best? Well, it depends upon our judgment, first of all, and also upon the people you are talking to. And also, you know what? The Rotary is a wealth of knowledge. You can go and reference to these clubs around the world. If they are legitimate, are they able to do global grants, let's say? And the internet. Nowadays, you can get on and ask about the club or a project in an area, and you can see all the needs in that community from the internet. You don't have to be confined to just one person or two person, because a lot of times I've seen a lot of nepotism in the global grants. But nevertheless, I can tell you what, if it benefits one or it benefits 100, for me, it's benefiting someone and it's in the positive direction. And we Rotarians do things because we want to do positive change. And that's what we look for in a project.
Thank you, Shab. Thank you. Second question is about impact. How the project will benefit the local. Actually, I'm sorry, do we have Ken Mugisha on the call?
No,
cannot.
sorry, Ken is not on the call. He's been unwell, so we are not sure. Maybe
I know.
he's feeling okay. Yeah.
I know. I talked with him.
Our love.
Okay. All right. So we'll move on to the next question, that it is about the impact. How the project will benefit the local or international community, and what will be the impact? How do you measure long-term impact when results might not be visible 4 years.
I see.
Now we'll ask Shab to share what he learned over the so many years doing projects.
Well,
Shab.
according to Rotary, we measure impact from a positive way. And also, we want to know from the long term how that project has affected or benefited those communities. It's not, we don't measure the impact from the Rotarians saying, we want to do this project and, let's do it. We measure the impact as according to the results. And and the results we will not see unless we put an assessment first. So that's our baseline. And then afterwards, we will see what's the impact. Like for education, sometimes you don't see it right away, but it's a long term. You don't see the effect of having a well in a community. It is also a long term that the diseases will disappear. The women has more time to go around and be in there with their families because the water, they don't have to walk that long distance to get the water. So we are blessed in the United States. So because we have a lot of programs, the government help and everything else. But other countries in the world, and I travel a lot, I travel over 45 countries, they are not as blessed as we are. If it wasn't for the Rotarians and the projects that we take upon, I will tell you 1/3 of the universe of the public in the world will be affected by poverty. But also, unless you really feel the changes in yourself when you are going to do a project, you have those, you feel it in your blood that you're doing good. And then that will really reflect to the other people that you are serving. So it really changes us first, and then you can see the changes as you go along, and it happens. And a lot of times you look at the smiles in the faces of the people you're helping, on the touch that they come to you and touch you, you can feel it that you are really changing these people. And at the end, you look at it and you say, well, here we are in a community. There are schools, there is wells, there is plants, there is different life they're living. So you can feel the impact right away, not only inside yourself, material-wise, you can touch it in those communities.
Thank you, Shab. Maria?
Yes, please. I would like to add some words. I agree with Chehab just said, but I would like also to complement that we can use indicators. As a researcher, I am very usually to measure everything. And in our project, in our club, we are stimulating our project to be measured by indicators. And indicators can be created not only by quantitative data, but also with qualitative data. And as Shab just said, if you don't know how to create the indicators, please looking for who can help you. And at Rotary family around the world, you can find someone to help you. And if you're not, you can contact us. We can maybe help, or we can share with you a person close to your region who could help you to create these indicators. And why these indicators are so important? Because when we use money, I mean funding, we need to demonstrate how this money was or will be spent. And using indicators, we can provide this information in a very clear way. And so I do recommend to create indicators indicators to measure all the results at short, medium, and long-term results from our projects.
Thank you, Maria. Thank you so much. I just learned that Ken is with us on the call. So hello, Ken. I'm sorry that you had a technical difficulties joining us. I've already introduced you to our audience today, and I'm going to repeat the question for you right now, and I would ask you to share with us your experience, and if you can stick it to 1 minute, that would be great. So we are talking now about the impact, how the project will benefit the local or international community, and what will be the impact. How do you measure long-term impact when results might not be visible for years? Ken, please, and welcome.
Thank you very much, my sister. I'm so sorry that I was delayed. I don't know why my video cannot go on. I've tried to put on my video.
And it is all right. We can feel you in our hearts. So
Yeah, we can hear you, Ken. So
Yes.
don't worry about the
we
video.
can feel you in our hearts. So, and we wish you well. We heard that you're well under the weather, so we wish you well.
Yeah, and I really appreciate that you are with us today. I know that you had some health issues over the last several days, so just talk with us, and as Shab said, you're in our hearts.
You know, as Rotarians, I will use what
There you go.
What they are telling us today about storytelling. And I'll just give an example of a project which I started in my club, one of the biggest global grants given to a Rotary club ever in my country, Uganda, but also in the district, worth $1.2 million in the fight against malaria. By the time we intervened, 10 children were dying every day. And buying medicine for 2 years, training 1,770 village health workers, giving them testing kits and medicine. By the time we completed this project, there was a reversal from losing 10 lives every day to 0 death of children below the age of 5. And to me, that one I can talk about impact. And because we're looking at sustainability and continuity of this project, that is why we had to put in a component working using partnerships, using the Ministry of Health to train these 1,770 village health workers as part of the project, but also to make sure that the program is incorporated in the government program so that even if Rotary is away, there's continuity. For me, that one I can call real impact and continuity in motion.
Thank you, Ken. Thank you so much. I just want to point out that I put in the chat the link to Rotary International Service Projects, so you can go there, and you can go and just look for some projects there. Okay, up to the next question. Planning your service efforts. What partnerships do you create to be beneficial for successfully completing the project? How do you involve your community members as volunteers for the project? And I would kindly ask Maria to share with us her experience.
Thank you, Diana. And as you said at the beginning, when you introduced myself, I have been working with the projects for more than 25 years. And what I see that we need strong projects are built through strategic partnerships because no organization creates lasting impact alone. And so the most valuable partnerships for us are usually with local government agencies, health and education institutions, universities, community-based organizations, private sector's partners, and advocacy groups. Each partner brings something different: technical knowledge, access to beneficiaries, infrastructure, credibility funding, communication channels, or continuity. A good partnership is not based only on goodwill. It is based on clear roles, shared goals, and mutual accountability. From the beginning, it's important to define who is responsible for implementation, logistics, communication, outreach, technical support, monitoring, and follow-up. And what I have learned that if we didn't make these roles very clear from the beginning, the other steps, the other phase of a project will not be very well done. Thank you.
Thank you, Maria. Thank you. Ken, would you please share your experience with us?
Yes, I always do a fundraiser every year in the fight against malaria in Uganda. Knowing that Rotary is looking at what next after polio, it has launched what we call the community health initiatives, rolling out $36 million in 4 countries: DRC, Nigeria, Mozambique, and Zambia. And part of the things I've seen that when we are bringing in partners, because the first program of scale was in Zambia, it became so successful because of government involvement. There's no way in Africa, where I come from, you can do away with a project without the full support of the government of whichever country where you're doing that project from. But additionally, we also trying to change the mindset of the corporate world. And one of the things I've been telling them that, you see, they spend a lot of money on end-year parties. But these end-year parties just benefit the stomach for just a few minutes. And after that dinner, there'll be nothing more left in your stomach. Yet, if that money is used in a project working with Rotary, the impact can be felt by every member in the community. So one of the things I've been telling the corporates that I know your biggest challenge is value proposition to you the moment you work in partnership with Rotary. What is it in for me? Is my business going to thrive and grow when I work with Rotary? Is my public image going to flourish? But it has to come from us as Rotarians to go with a write-up and to tell them that, you see, I know you're doing and you're supporting communities, but there's this value proposition which is coming your way. And at the end of the day, we'll be celebrating, because if it is diseases, even your workers or employees suffer from diseases. So when we come together and unite and form impactful projects, because going it alone is not enough, but when we do it with a lot more people, organizations, groups, non-government organizations, it spreads across and the impact can be felt. So partnerships are very, very key. We must go out to these corporates, we must go out to these governments and start a conversation.
Thank you, Ken. Thank you. Shab?
Well, Rotary believes that partnerships are essential for the impact of the project that we do around the world. Besides what Ken and Maria says, Rotary has many avenues and a lot of resources for us. Let's take ICC, and a lot of you that do not know, inter-country committees are formed around the world, like inter-country committee between Ukraine and the United States, inter-country committee India, United States, inter-country committee Russia, United States, and I belong to all of them. And you know what? It opens my eyes for more and how the clubs now are joining together because they have the same mentality to do the projects. Fellowships, the fellowships that is around. The Rotary action groups that are around and available for us. Rotaract doing global grants right now and the young people. And those are besides the community and everybody else that we should be able to get them as partners. And I give you an example. I sit on the board of directors for Thousand Smiles, and Thousand Smiles, we do parrot cliff lips. Then we have our own center. So now the partnership with Rotary International is only for the medical and the training aspects, because Rotary will not give you money for the building. So now we go out and we form a partnership with private people, and then we build our own center. So we put the mortar and everything together, and now the biggest partnership is the doctors from United States, the doctors from Mexico, the Rotary actors, the student exchange. So they all come together, and we work together. So we will have that impact. So the organizations that we belong to, I belong to 4 board of directors in my city. So the partnership that we partner with the organizations on the local level, that also help. But also you take the volunteers that they can come to you as your partner, include them in the planning, in the assessment phase, and the implementation. So if you include them and you let them know that this is where we are now and that's where we're going, you will be successful at the end, and you will be all together working to really have a big impact on the community.
Thank you, Shab. And now we are moving to the next question: securing funding. How do you create a project budget? Describe any partnership which you feel would be beneficial for successfully completing the project and for future, very important, for future sustainability. Maria, please.
It's a hard question because this crucial partnership depends on where we are and what kind of resources we have at the local area. Usually, I try to make partnership with organizations because our projects, all of them are focused on persons with disabilities. And so I recommend we have partnership with organizations that advocate for the rights of people with disabilities, but with a strong structure. For example, I belong to an organization here in Brazil. They talk more than they do. Do you understand me? They talk a lot, but usually they don't have the tools to measure and to follow up and things like that. And so for me, it's very hard to be with them because I am very objective, numbers oriented. And so what I recommend, if you don't find a partnership, a partner, an organization, even from the government, from the private sector or wherever, find a person to be this one, to work with the numbers for your project. It is very important. And usually I recommend also to find a private organization which does accountability, to be with you from the beginning. Mistakes with numbers, it's very hard to solve them afterwards. In the planning time, it's very essential to have all the numbers very clear and from step, and to follow up how they behave during the project implementation. That's I don't know if I made myself clear, but I'm open to further questions. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. I was just about to say, if you have any questions, just put them in the chat and we'll answer at the end. Or you can just raise your hand and that will be at the end of the presentation. Shab, please,
Well,
talk to us about budget.
Rotary has incorporated monitoring and evaluation into any project that we do. So the budget depends upon your plan. So, and then when you plan something, you have to keep in mind what's available for you. So now, if I want to pay for a building, and then to rent a building or lease a building to do a school, it's not going to be efficient for me. So like Carter School that we're involved with, they have the school, but Rotary does global grants for people to get some scholarships and be with them. So in the planning, you will see, okay, what's available for me? What can the community provide me? Like my wife has a project of cleaning the rivers in Rio Bravo, and now she has another project which now became a project of 11 districts in both countries working to clean up the river. Now she started another cleaning river, is Colorado River. So, and now 4 districts are involved with it, and we're going to have a cleanup in May. But by going there, just us, and then telling them this is what we're going to do. No. She already met with the mayor. She already met with the schools. She's already met with the with the city. She already met with the television channels. So all of these coming together, and then put the plans together, how we're going to do it. So when we get there, you know who are your partners, and you know what the plan is, and also how the long-term operational process is going to happen. So at the end, that's what it really matters is, is it you that you're going to take everything, or you're going to use all the resources? In our group, and we formed a group that we meet every month on a monthly basis. Like tomorrow morning, we meet on a monthly basis, and I see a lot of familiar faces over here. We get together for 2.5, 3 hours, and we sit down and we listen to those projects, and we plan them, and we connect people together at the same time, at the same moment, on a website. I will provide you with the website, and hopefully in the future, I will do some kind of a workshop for everybody in the club, because this club is from 90 people over 40 countries. So now we're talking about, you are a great assets among yourself because you represent 40 countries. So if you bring those 40 countries, you will never, ever run out of projects. You'll never have it. And if you join our group and you do it, it's a non-conventional way, because we connect people live. So this will help you put the project and follow up all the way, and make sure that it's sustainable at the end by measuring it and following on measuring, not for 1 year, 2 years, or 3 years. So it will be sustainable for a long time if your partners are the right ones. Thank you.
Thank you, Shab. Ken, please tell us about the budget.
Yeah, thank you very much. Number one, I'd like us to look at 2 things. That before even we do the project, we must look at long-term sustainability goals. And secondly, we must look at Rotary International, that it has invested a lot of money over the years, and it has developed what we call our action plan. So as we are thinking of a project and conceiving an idea of which budget are we going to use, we must look at the strategic priorities out of our action plan. And one of them is to increase impact. So gone are the days when we're doing projects for $30,000, $20,000. If we are going to talk about impact, we should look at budgets which take $500,000, $1 million, or even more. Because you remember we had an ambitious campaign in 2025, growing our endowment fund from to $2.025 billion in the year 2025. And I'm not sure, as a big giver, you're aware about that, which we achieved and surpassed. So we don't lack resources today in Rotary while drawing budgets and looking at what action are we going to take in whichever area of focus we are looking at. So one of the things we must look at, the moment we conceive an idea of a global grant, we must, working hand in hand with the community, local leaders, and others, try to look at what is the biggest challenge in our community, not what we think is the most suitable project we can do for them. And in that, when we bring people together, it becomes a community-owned project. So with that, you come and you'll be able to come out with budgets easily, and you look at sustainability and continuity, and to have everlasting effects of that project. And that is what we are looking today at. And drawing a budget becomes very, very easy when you're not working alone. But you must work with the beneficiaries, you must work with the implementers who can work with Rotary, you must work with the local leaders, and you must work with government and the corporate world together with the non-government organizations in making sure that we bring everyone on board, and then we can sit together and draw a very good budget which can last and deliver results.
Thank you, Ken. Thank you so much. Next question, because it's kind of intertwined with the budget, and all three of you mentioned it in your in sharing your experience. I will move to evaluating your project. How do you evaluate your project? Do you do a follow-up after the project is completed, or during the project is done? And who will do that? Also, what is the message that you want to convey with your evaluation? Shab, please.
Well, evaluation is going to depend on your starting point. So, and your timeline for your project. So it is not evaluating at the end of the project and say, okay, this is what we put together and that's what happened. So you evaluate the project as you go along, because things is not going to go correct. Maybe it's not 100%. We're all human. So we need to be able to change things midterm and go on so we can get to our goal safely. You see, even in a global grant, you can even change on the global grant midterm. You can connect with your grant coordinator and say, we're going to do this instead of this because we found out that this is needed more. And they are very, very flexible. And I talk about the global grants because that's where I think the biggest impact is. But how do I see it? I see it from the foundation point of view. If we have $100, Rotary, then your district sometimes will match your $100 with DDF. RI will match that 80%. So you can see right away 2.8 multipliers came to your project. So $10,000, you're very close to be a $30,000 global grant. All you need is a little bit of money. So and then also at the end of a project, let's say a global grant, and you find out that you put a well and you put a pump, but you did not account for the fuel. So you come back and you say, okay, I'm reevaluating this, but now the global grant is already been done. So what do? You go to Ken, you go to Maria, you go to Diana, you go to Licia, you go to Teresa, who's past district governor. She's on the call also. So you say, we need a little bit more money to put a solar on it. So now you are avoiding then that at the end of this project, the project will be shut down or is not complete, or you cannot fix the pumps, at the end. So you have to really evaluate your project and how much is the impact is going to have. And sometimes people see you doing something in the community, they want to jump on a successful wagon, and always tell the story. When you tell the story, you're going to bring people to your story. You, like Maria says, a lot of people will talk the talk and then not do the walk. So, but if you tell the story, then you can impress people to come and join you on your efforts to complete that project. So it's a lot of things. It depends upon your community and upon the culture and upon so always try to put it up. Like I put up right now a slide, right? I changed my slide. If you scan that slide right there, if you scan the QR, it will take you to my project. You can give me the money. So now this is changing. The technology is changing. We got to change with the technology nowadays in order to have a bigger and better impactful projects.
We're not hearing you, Diana. I mean, open your mic.
Sorry.
No.
Thank you, Shab. Maria, please.
I would like to tell a story. Can I?
Yes, go ahead.
Okay, and so I will tell to everyone a project, a very specific project that I have worked from 2019 to 2021. Remember, we had COVID problem, okay? And so it was a project to develop a methodology for digital inclusion of elderly. When I was the chair of the project, I designed the project to be developed with elderly in person to person, okay? And come up the COVID situation. And so we cannot meet the elderly persons and so on. And in this, to make worse, I had to move to Abu Dhabi. And this project was in Brazil. And what was the main goal of the project? To develop a global methodology for digital inclusion of elderly. And we started to work with people. I mean, we developed the methodology, and then we have to test the methodology. Okay, and we have done was excellent. I can share the methodology and so on with everyone. But what I want to say is, we have finished the project in 2021. Up to now, we are collecting results around the world for people that we never imagined to be using our methodology. And why I am telling that? That sometimes when we come up with idea of a project, we cannot imagine our results and our impact that will come with the time. But we have to get the project alive for a long term because we, like I said, some people keep asking us information and help us support and things like that, and no money anymore to go on with the project. Our budget was finished in 2021. But we have responsibility with the results that we generated and with the impact that we generate to our close local regions, but even with the impact over the country, or globally speaking. And so I do believe always we have to have very careful thinking when we plan the project and the real impacts, like Ken said to us, his project about malaria. What he is doing there could be replicated in all other parts of the world. And that's why I believe that Rotary is so important. We are very strong and serious network who really does things come true in a very strong way. And that's why we are so strong and we connect with each other and we trust each other, because our results is to impact humanity, not only for now, but for the time to come.
I would like to add one statement I read. Ken is not here now, so we can take his time.
He's
I am
just
on.
he is.
You are.
My Wi-Fi tried to misbehave for a second, but I'm on.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
So I'd like to add something. I ran into a little statement from Rotary. It's about it's about proving that Rotary is a changing life for good. It moves the narrative from we spend this much money and train this many people to because of our work, children are healthier, girls are in school, and families have economic opportunities. So that if we change the narratives, it also will change our evaluating of our project.
Thank you, Shab. Ken, the question is evaluating your project. How do you evaluate the project? Do you do it at the end or do you do it as you go along? Please, Ken.
Evaluation, because at the end of these big projects, an audit must be done that a project has been followed to the letter, the way the application went through to international and got an approval. So we start immediately through implementation, but also interacting with the local communities to tell their story about what they feel about the project. But one time I'll give you an example. As a governor in 2017, 2018, I went to Tanzania in a place called Kilimanjaro, and I've seen at least there are some Rotarians from Tanzania. And there was a Rotary Club of Sami which had a project worth $320,000 in the beginning, but it was increased after some time. So 150,000 people lacked water. Kilimanjaro used to be the best as far as weather is concerned and availability of rains, but because of our effects on climate change, there was a reversal and the effects were very bad. Now, when Rotary did a water project, because livestock were dying every day, people couldn't have water to feed their animals. Those who have poultry farms, they couldn't. Schools, they couldn't afford to cook for the children. And when Rotary came and did a project pumping water on top of a huge hill and taking piped water to the 150,000 people in that community, it was a very wide community. The impact and the outcome which came out, that people never called it a water project for anyone else. They named the project, in Swahili, it is called Maji ya Rotary, meaning they called the project Water for Rotary. That it is Rotary which has brought water to us, saved our livestock, saved our families from walking 40 to 50 kilometers for the next water source, and in the end, there was peace in the community. For me, that one alone can be a very big statement to tell you the impact you've created and the outcome coming from the communities about the action you took, which saved lives and created a better environment for everyone.
Thank you, Ken. Thank you. I just want to point out that Ken and Shab, they have an extensive experience with global grants, and those are the grants that Rotary International gets involved in. When you do a service project in your community, all the service projects that we could do can be very small or very big, and we can involve Rotary International with grants, but we can also do a project within our community involving, and that's what our focus today is on, to find out how we can start small projects and who are the partners, and how do we identify what the projects, what the needs in our communities are, and how to fund the project. So the last question, and I would kindly ask our panelists to be, to be concise on that, because we are past the hour already, is about communication and promoting strategies. How do you create a promotion plan for your project to, first, to attract public support and donations, and second, when you start the projects, to promote it, to make aware your community who you are, what Rotary does, and what Rotary can do in the future? Please, Maria.
Always you come up with very difficult questions, but anyway, let's go. And so usually I start to asking to myself, why should people care about this project? And then I start to think about generally people, and then I list all the organizations that could be interested in support the project. And I make the question again, why should this organization care about this project? This I go on, and then I create a promotion plan by defining 5 elements: audience, message, channels, timing, and evidence. And so first, I identify the audience that we want to reach: community members, donors, local business, institutional partners, media, and volunteers. And usually I work also with research grants. Second, I develop a message that's clear, human, and credible. People respond not only to data, but also to stories that we told a lot here today. Stories that show why the project matters. Third, I selected the right communication channels. These may include social media, community events, local radio, press releases, meetings, a lot of coffees, partner networks, email campaigns, club presentations, and testimonials from beneficiaries or experts. Fourth, I create a timeline so communication happens before, during, and after the project. Promotion should not happen only when funding is needed. It should also build trust by showing the progress and results. To attract donation and public support, communication must combine emotion and accountability. Thank you.
Thank you, Maria. Chab.
Yeah, we need to focus on authenticity and storytelling. And the goal of that is to show the people, not just tell the people. Again, walk the walk. Okay? So really, empathy is a good part of doing a global grant or doing a project. When you show empathy to that community, and then you're helping them with all the resources that you have, then that really communicate the love, the regards for life, and you're making peace, positive peace, just with the people, and they can communicate to you better, because now you're reaching them on heart level. You're reaching the clubs on heart level. And I from my experience, when I reach a club or a district governor or a DRFC from the heart level or the knowledge or communicating level, that we met them, I've done with them some project with them and stuff. Now we are communicating better, but also I am using the resources available for us. AI is available for us. I can show you how to know what every district in the world have in DDF. So you can, when you're doing your project, and I will give you a list of every district in the world, how much they have, because I'm using AI. We are using AI to write the global grant, and it will help you write the global grant from the point of view of the grant coordinator, how they look at it. If you look at my other pictures right now, I put how do I promote my project? Like right now, we have 47 people. So I'm promoting something to donate to the Lebanon, helping the people, the refugee in Lebanon. So I create the project, I create a URL, and I create the project on matchinggrants.org. And then when you scan this, it will take you right to the project and you can put your money. And while we are on this meeting, I can thank you for what money you gave me, because I'm using all the technology that gives me the good communication and promotion strategy. And I can do that while I'm talking to you right now, if you give me any project. So this is what we need to do, is and be a reliable source. A lot of times we just like to tell a story. And nowadays, if you start talking in young people and you are in a big meeting and you say something not right, not correct, those people will Google that, and then they look at you. Anything you say afterwards, you lost all their interest, because you're not telling them the truth. So we need to be truthful with people, and whatever our promises, deliver our promises to them, and make sure that they are with us from point A to point Z, so they will see the changes, and also they promote with you. Not only they become your agents for promotion, and also for the communication to resources. You never know all the resources. They know better, especially the communities. Thank you.
Thank you, Shab. Ken.
Thank you very much, Diana. One of the things I've looked at, which has made a successful story in my district, because we recorded the biggest net gain in membership last year. And what actions did we do? Number one, to recognize the power of the media houses in supporting our work and showing how Rotary or Rotarians come together to create lasting change in this world. And today I can tell you that in my club, we went further and inducted one of the leaders in one of the top or leading daily in Uganda, and inducted him in Rotary. The outcome of this is that because we knew he was so resourceful, we wrote Rotary International to put him on the communications committee of Rotary International. He got so excited. What impact our stories, like in the print media, moved from being at the last pages to be on page 1, page 2, page 3. We all know that when you're reading like a newspaper, you read only the first 2, 3, and then you're tired. You say, whatever I wanted to see is gone. You never look at the last pages. Today, we'll sit at the front table when our messages are heard. So compelling stories reach down in communities. All media houses talk about Rotary every day. They showcase our projects on all the media houses. So whoever is tired and just reached home to relax and wants to listen to news, they always see something somewhere about Rotary. Additionally, one thing we have realized is the power of the young Rotarians and Rotractors, because they come with a lot of fresh ideas, a lot of energy, and when we bring them on board and we let them be. They have been one of the best thing we've ever taken as a decision, to sit on the same table with these young Rotarians who are young professionals and business people, but also the interactors, because their ideas, we were throwing them away so many years ago when I joined. I've been a Rotarian for 30 years. We are never giving them platform. Today they have platform. They sit with us. They organize our installations. It has energized them and given them more energy to know that working with us and putting on board their fresh ideas has been more beneficial to Rotary than ourselves.
Open your mic, Diana.
I should know that by now, right? Sorry. Okay. Now, the last question, very briefly, please. Share with us what are what is the most common mistake your team or your team made in the past during project implementation, and how to avoid that? Just share with us 1 or 2 mistakes, no more, because we are 15 minutes past the hour and we have to have some time for the questions. Thank you. And I will ask Shab to start, please.
Well, thank you very much. You know, it's when you do not involve the community from the beginning, and there will be common mistakes that will happen. Community, clubs, Rotary Act, your whoever you're working with, you know, you gotta involve them. And also, if you do not do what they need to be done, I have a gentleman come to me from India. I have $40,000. I would like to see if I can leverage it because we want to do a library in India. Well, okay. Well, I've connected with India. I've been in India in that region, so I connected with them. I said, "Can we do this globally?" Well, it took us a year back and forth, and guess what? It did not happen because they did not need a library. They need more than they need hospital, or they need, you know, like Gandhi says, before you talk peace to them, feed them first. So we need to meet the needs of that community. Even Rotary International, they changed the model, the whole model of the grant. They changed it since 2013 from matching grants, which was concentrating on the short-term benefits and not the impact. Now, it was 80% of that on the short term. Now, all of a sudden, we have the global grant, which really emphasized on the long-term impact and the long-lasting impact, not the short-term and the sustainability. And also, they do the assessment, so they do the whole evaluation at the same time, and including the people from the beginning to the end. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Shab. Maria?
I make his words my words. I would like just to add that when we make mistakes, please don't give it up. Mistakes teach us a lot. Just that. And I used his words as mine.
Okay, thank you, Maria. And Ken?
Over the years, one of the mistakes I've seen we have done in implementing global grants is giving an opportunity for one team of 1, 2, 3 members to be in charge of everything, for us to just wait in our clubs to come and listen to what the implementing partners or the club members have done in that particular project. And at the end of the day, we've had stewardship challenges. So what I believe is that we must make sure that the entire structure of global grants is done very well and adhered to. Number one is to have a separate team of procurement, which is competitive, not looking at one supplier, but having a variety of suppliers to make sure that at least there's competition and good benefits coming out of that, because the more money you save, you can do more for a community. And lastly, I would like to share a true story we've just had in the last 1 month. My district, because I sit on the finance committee, we've just had to pay around $18,000 back to Rotary Foundation because it was misused. But now they have come back with another bill. So the story is not ended yet. And it's telling the district to either pay this money which was misused by this club, or else we close you, the entire district. Imagine closing over 200 clubs because of actions of 2 Rotarians in a Rotary club who never believed in integrity to be part of the implementation and their journey as Rotarians. It is so sad and shameful to have such stories today, that money which could have done a lot for communities, Rotarians themselves end up becoming projects that they are benefiting from these projects. It is also wrong. So we must look at these areas critically, and these projects should not be projects for one person, Ken or any other person, but they should be owned by the entire club, where it has to be involved, and to make sure that when it comes to closing these global grants, we are all aware that we've been working together and there are no shortcuts which have been taken. Thank you.
Thank you, Ken. Thank you. And thank you all to our panelists today. Now it is time for questions from our audience. Please, I know that some is checking the chat for questions, and I will be monitoring if someone raises their hand. So please.
So just a couple of things before we get into questions. We can do a few questions, maybe about 10 minutes or so. If you want to get in touch with the Rotary Club of World Disability Advocacy, you can do so. Whoops, got my mic. You can do so by writing to Rotary, WDA@gmail.com. Also, if you'd like to get a certificate of participation from this group, Sam has posted in the chat a link that you can go to if you'd like to get that certificate. And if anybody has questions, please raise your hand, and we'll take you as the hands go up.
There are some questions on the chat.
Okay, so would you please
I will
with the
read.
question? Yes,
yeah, I will read
please.
just 3 of them. Maybe one person can take them up.
Yeah.
So there's a question from the gentleman from Uganda, Amos Kalumba. I have some questions. One, what are the most effective ways to finance Rotary projects sustainably? What are the biggest leadership mistakes that cause projects to fail according to your experience? And what strategies help to turn small club projects into large community impact initiatives? And lastly, how can Rotary better engage youth and local communities in project ownership?
Okay, I think we might kind of break those 4 questions because, yeah, they're quite different from one another.
I will ask PDG Shab to answer question 1 and 2. What are the most effective ways to finance Rotary projects sustainably?
I just want to know, why don't you guys take your phone and scan that? It's going to give you a lot of resources. Just take a picture and then scan it later, okay? Take a picture later. It's going to give you a bunch of resources that you will have for your club now and in the future. Give it to your district governor, give it to your club. But hear what I will say. First of all, we hold on a monthly basis a meeting every third Tuesday at 6 p.m. our time. Now, if a district, and I'm working with 9212, 9213, and 9214 right now, and we're planning on creating about 200 global grants in Yenka Babalula year. So if a small club do not know the essentials of doing a global grant, first of all, attend your district training all the time, okay? Then the second thing I would advise, go ahead and join a big club. In your district, and Ken knows in his district, there are so many clubs that they do, like 3 or 4 or 5 clubs in the district do 80% of all the global grants. So, and also we have a website. It's called matchinggrants.org. It is in the resources I gave you, matchinggrants.org. Go on and put your global grant. And if you put your global grant in there and then you send me the number, I will put personal money, and I'm the global grant chair for my district, and I'll get the district to also match my money. So that's a start. All you need is 15% from international, and also you need a primary, which I will be your primary until I find your primary. Right now, we have in our club, in the draft status, 32 global grants in my club alone, not in my district, but my club alone. And then I will farm them out to good people. Like Ligia was here, Ligia will in meetings that she will sponsor some. District Governor Amos is here, is one of our people that attend every week almost. So connect with people, and especially when you go to Rotary International, come and visit us, because we're having the Peace Fellows are holding session how to connect people together. We're training them right now, and we're going to have them on tables live or with your computer at the convention. They will connect you with projects, and we will give you a partner. So we will make it so easy. We take the global grant from being a big bear in the room to be a little poodle in the room that you can monitor it, and then you can also do it. So the best thing to do is go to matchinggrants.org, post your global grant, and look for a grant like yours, and see if those people will partner with you. And what we do is we go to a global grant that have the same amount of money or less money, and we say, let's trade 10,000 or 5,000, and you become my partner. So easy. It's there, but it's so easy. But we're using all the technology to get finance, especially AI, how to write your global grant, and how to know how much money there are in every district. And how to know there is money in every district. It is on these resources that you just took a picture of.
Thank you, Shab. Thank you. Saum, would you please go with the next question?
PDG Shab, the other question, just as you continue with the discussion, what indicators should we look at to determine whether a project will remain sustainable after Rotary's involvement ends?
Well, if you go to Rotary, there are 6 things that you can do to make sure that the project is staying sustainable. And most of the projects become sustainable of 2 things mostly. Is your community partnership, because those been in the community for a long time. So now if you take them you become partner with them. So after your money is depleted, you still have that community carrying over. And the second thing that is the training. Train the trainers. Then let them become the training aspect. And also when you're doing a project, a common project like water well. Well, a lot of people say, well, this water pump is cheaper than this water pump. Well, guess what? Yeah, it's cheaper, but it's not available in that region. So use local people that can fix that if it breaks. So all of these things are, and then your partners have to be fully engaged with you. It will not sustain unless you're fully engaged with them. So, the money situation it's not about the money. So we always say, spending money on a good intention is not the same as creating lasting impact. So we concentrate on the lasting impact. By concentrating on the lasting impact, then your project is sustainable right away.
Thank you, Shab. Would you please hold the QR code again? There is a request for that. And Saum, meanwhile, please get to the next question. And
so this one goes to PDG Ken.
Oh.
What are the biggest leadership mistakes that cause projects to fail, according to your experiences?
Okay, can you just, Shab, in order for our audience to scan the QR code, can you please say several words so you're you are the central presenter and the QR code is more visible? Please.
Okay.
Yes, there.
So this QR over here, it will give you every web page in Rotary International in a link. So you don't have to look for it, especially the Rotary Act. They're not all registered on Rotary International. So you can use this. The first link is every web page, a web link as a link. The second one, how to find partners and money. And it's by posting it on Matching Grant. And there's links for how to find your global grant coordinator in your area. And there is sample how to write your global grant. There is samples also, a web page where you can find which district has a lot of money unspent. Some districts still right now have over $850,000 in DDF. And some of the, let me give you an example. Every year, for the past few years, over $40 million it goes unused every year from one year to another. So use it, knowing that these districts will lose that money in 5 years. And this year, they're feeling the crunch. They're losing the money this year since the program came. So use it, open it up, use it, and then I have a phone number and email. Please call me at any time. Anytime, except when my wife wants me to do something. So everybody has the QR, and join us tomorrow evening. If you have a project, I'll find you a partner, and if I can't find you a partner, I'll be your partner until we find you another partner, and I'll give you also.
I just want to clarify something very quickly. What Shab is talking about are the global grants and district grants. And in order to start a project and be funded it with district or global grant and, involve your district or Rotary International, you have to have these initial funds to start the project. And this is where the partnerships with your community is very important.
And
then I've also shared Shabu's link. If anyone can't get the QR code, I've shared it as a link.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Saum, the next question, please.
PDG Ken, what are the biggest leadership mistakes that cause projects to fail according to your experience?
Owning projects, I can say by a few individuals, it has been a very big challenge. And Saum, you're also knowing that Kenya is paying heavily for mismanaged projects. And now the way things are done, which might even bring useless delays, is because of the amount of money and agreement which has gone with RI to make sure that that money is recovered. And it's because we put our hands off and let a few people to manage these projects without even understanding and even funding time. Because we all know Rotarians are busy, but we must create time because we are selfless. Before I conclude in a special way, I'd like to thank Shab for being an exemplary Rotarian. When you listen to him, he's about bringing more people on board, supporting more clubs, making sure that when we have our second dream of having the second Rotary International president coming from Africa, Africa is going to benefit from multiple programs coming from our Rotary Foundation. Schwab, I give you big kudos. When you come to Uganda, you will enjoy and you might never go back. That is just a caution.
You're all
Okay, so Maria has to leave shortly, so please ask her the last question and then we'll, go further.
I think most of the other questions have been answered through the engagements as we were going on, because PDG Ken talked about engaging the youth in our projects and what it has done. So that's already been answered. The rest, we are good.
Okay, do we have other questions? Maria, I'd like to thank you so much for participating today and sharing your many years of experience. And please do reach out to Maria. She is a good resource, and she can share her many years of doing projects with you. And all that information will be, I believe, Ken Masson will provided to all our participants today. I just want to say goodbye to Maria. Thank you so much. And thank you. And then we can continue. So
Maria,
the other.
Thank you, Maria.
Maria, this is for you. And you're a peace builder also. So
Thank you.
Thank
you all.
Thank you, Maria. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
My
It was
pleasure.
a pleasure being with you on the panel.
Yeah.
My pleasure. I'm really sorry I have to leave. Bye-bye. Thank you.
Sound, do
We are
have
going to
any
have
other
quite more
questions?
together.
There's a question from Sadhu from India. He says, if you Rotarians are interested to avail a global grant, but they don't gather courage to go ahead because they doubt the integrity of many members, what do we do?
Who want to take that question?
Well,
Shab?
let me take it. Because I've seen it all around the world.
Yeah.
There are so many cultures, and Ken would know because he's a past district governor. You would know there are so much politics, unfortunately, in above the district level, or equal, even above the president level. Yeah. I just want to tell you, be a Rotarian. Just do not let the talks, the people affect you. Always get out and see the opportunities outside your club. Outside your club, it's a big opportunity. We're international partner. You can join a Rotarian Action Group for Peace or for any cause. ICC, intercountry committees. You can start your own fellowship. I joined this fellowship about innovation and technology. I mean, that's a very beautiful thing, and I do a global grant with them through this organization. So do not take things that bring you down, or you're not famous enough in the district to do a global grant. Find someone, and I tell you, and I say it freely. Since I started in the world, just get out in the world since 2003, I can tell you that freely that more than 35 people that I was in contact with came district governors or JRFC. Over 13 people became Arch Clump Society, including Alicia, and I was the cause to talk to them and make them and convince them to become on the higher level. You start small, but there is nothing small. Like my grandfather always says, when you build a great castle, every little nail counts. So you count. You as a member, as I am a member, as the president of Rotary is a member. So you count. Do not think of yourself that you are not capable of doing it. You are capable of doing it. And if I need to train someone one-on-one, please call me, and then I'll set the time to train you and put you and write you a global grant so you can go to your district and say, this is a global grant. I have a partner. I have this much money, and also I wrote it on RI website. So that's all you have to show your district, that you are really doing your job. So, and after that, I'll show you how to promote your global grant. And do not ever think that you are not good enough. You are.
Thank you, Shab. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. I'm enlightened.
You're awesome. Thank you.
Yeah.
I want to be in touch with you. How I can do that?
Please.
So we can take one more question, and we really have to go because it is 40 minutes past the hour. Oh, we don't.
Yeah.
Okay. That's okay. Well, I'd like to thank very much everybody who was on the call today and who is on the live stream there. And I know that Ken will conclude it, and he will tell you that he'll send you the information from today, the recording and all that. All I want to say is today we were here to learn about how to start the project, how to plan for it, how to budget it, how to promote it, how to evaluate it, and how to make it sustainable and make a lasting impact as Rotarians. And I just want to conclude with one quote from Wolfgang Goethe saying, "Knowing is not enough. We must apply. Willing is not enough. We must do." Taking all the knowledge and expertise that you heard today, go out there and do service projects, small or big in your community, internationally, district grants, on global grants. And I personally would like to thank you for putting up with me as your facilitator today. And Ken Masson, it's all yours.
Thank you. Thank you all. Wow. I mean, there's so much information that went on in the last hour and a half, and we will provide you with the recording. We'll provide you with a summary so you can have that information also. I will remind you that this is a part of a series, and we did touch upon fundraising here in several different ways, but we're going to get more in depth on it next month on April 20th, which is a Monday, the third Monday of every month. We do these series at 11 a.m. Eastern time, U.S. time. So please come back for that. And again, if you want to find out more about this club, or you want to get in touch, have more questions and stuff like that, please submit them to rotarywda@gmail.com. rotarywda@gmail.com. Again, we are offering for anybody who would like to get a certificate of participation in this event, to fill out the link that Sam had posted in the chat. Again, wow, what a session. What a lot of information here. There's so much. Shab, if you want to give me that QR, send it to me. I'll post it when I do the video also of that. I can post it also on the live stream that's going on Facebook.
Can I think it is in the chat? I think somebody said that they've already put it in the
link.
chat.
Yeah, they put the link there.
Well, I'll send all of that to you, and I'll send all the links to you, Ken.
Okay.
Right now.
Okay.
Wow. That's all I can say is wow. There's one word for this whole thing is wow. Thank you all. Much appreciated.
Thank you all, and have a good rest of the morning, afternoon, evening, night. Thank you. Stay safe and take care.
All right, take care.
Thank you so much, and gracias.
Gracias.
And you,
Gracias.
and you guys are.